Today, when you sit in people's gatherings, their conversations revolve around worldly matters, entertainment, games, sports, real estate, business, fashion, desires, and forbidden things. Few people discuss Allah's greatness, the Prophet's biography, the companions, or Allah's words. When you find a group whose gatherings are centered on goodness and faith, hold fast to them. We ask Allah to make us among them in such gatherings, and be patient with those who call upon their Lord morning and evening, seeking His face. Notice how Allah testified to their sincerity. They seek only His face, the greatest and most precious goal. This should be the Muslim's intention in every act of worship, remembrance, prayer, and Quranic recitation. Yes, you desire paradise and its blessings, but the greatest pleasure in paradise is gazing upon Allah's noble face. This creates longing in your heart to meet Allah. Every prayer becomes alive with meaning, filled with love for Allah and yearning to meet Him. Even in prostration you pray, O Allah, I ask you for the pleasure of looking upon your face and the longing to meet you. Allah described Abu Bakr, and no one has with him any favor to be compensated, except seeking the face of his Lord Most High, and he is going to be satisfied. This verse was revealed about Abu Bakr, but applies to everyone with this quality, seeking Allah's face. And let not your eyes pass beyond them, desiring adornments of the worldly life. When a person turns away from gatherings of knowledge and remembrance, he inevitably becomes occupied with worldly desires. And do not obey one whose heart we have made heedless of our remembrance, and who follows his desire, and whose affair is ever neglectful. This describes many people today. They rarely remember Allah, don't maintain their prayers, and have no connection with Allah. When someone abandons Allah's remembrance, what will occupy them? They follow their desires, doing whatever they wish in this world. Their affair becomes neglectful, losing both this world and the next. Allah commands, as for the orphan, do not oppress, and as for the petitioner, do not repel. Allah orders His Prophet to be gentle and kind to vulnerable Muslims, orphans and those in need, in gratitude for Allah's blessings. Did He not find you an orphan and give shelter? The Prophet grew up as an orphan. His father died while he was in his mother's womb. He passed from hand to hand, from his grandfather Abdul-Muttalib. Then after his death, his uncle Abu Talib cared for him. When Allah says gave shelter, it means embracing with care, affection and mercy what an orphan truly needs, not just financial support. Allah first sheltered him in Halima As-Sa'diyya's care. Remarkably, Allah chose this wet nurse, whose name means gentle, as if she nursed him with gentleness, mercy, and tenderness. She came from the desert seeking payment for nursing, as was the custom. City children were sent to the desert for health reasons. All the women took children except Muhammad, who remained because he was an orphan, meaning less financial gain. Halima took him freely, not knowing the immense blessing this would bring. When she took the Prophet, her donkey that was at the back of the caravan suddenly moved to the front due to his blessing. Upon reaching the lands of Banu Sa'd, blessings descended upon her household. Her sheep, which had no milk, suddenly produced abundant milk, and everything flourished. She truly became like a mother to him. After the chest-opening incident, she returned him to his mother out of fear. Then Allah sheltered him with his mother Aminah bint Wahab. Notice how the names reflect their meanings. Halima, gentle, and Aminah, safe, secure. His mother died when he was 6, so his grandfather Abdul-Muttalib took custody. His grandfather honored him greatly and named him Muhammad. When asked why he chose this uncommon name, Abdul-Muttalib said, I wanted him to be praised by the people of heaven and earth. Despite being a disbeliever, divine inspiration guided him. Abdul-Muttalib had a special carpet in the Kaaba's shade where no one dared sit, yet young Muhammad would sit there. When his uncles scolded him, his grandfather would say, Leave him, for this son of mine has a special destiny. This shows Allah's care for the Prophet even as a child. After his grandfather's death at age 8, Abu Talib took custody. Despite being young, the Prophet was noble-spirited and began working as a shepherd for some Meccans, earning small wages to help his uncle, who had many children. Consider Allah's upbringing of His Prophet. He didn't allow any single person to complete Muhammad's upbringing, so no human could claim credit. Each caregiver took him for a period. His wet nurse for 2 years, his mother for 2 years until she died, his grandfather for 2 years until he died, then his uncle when he was old enough to work and support himself. And he found you lost and guided you. The lostness here isn't blameworthy misguidance, but rather ignorance of the truth while having good intentions and seeking guidance. As Allah said to His Prophet, "You did not know what is the book or what is faith." The Prophet didn't know the path of worship or the legislation leading to Allah. He worshipped Allah through what they inherited from Abraham's religion until Allah revealed the Quran to him. And He found you poor and made you self-sufficient. Allah enriched him through his work shepherding sheep, then through trade with Khadija's wealth, and later through conquests and spoils. Yet he remained unchanged, giving generously without fearing poverty. He died with his shield pawned to a Jew for food for his family. Truly, one never tires of discussing the Prophet's biography. Thus Allah reminds His Prophet of these fundamental blessings. Did He not find you an orphan and give shelter, and find you lost and guide you, and find you poor and make you self-sufficient? In gratitude for these blessings. So as for the orphan, do not oppress. Just as Allah sheltered you, shelter the orphan, and don't oppress him. Notice the word oppress. This is the worst treatment for an orphan who has lost his protector and supporter in this world, lost his father who would defend, protect, and provide for him. When someone oppresses him, it brings humiliation to his heart and makes him feel he has no supporter. Therefore, be like a merciful father to the orphan. The Prophet said, "The sponsor of an orphan and I will be in paradise like this," pointing with his index and middle fingers. And as for the petitioner, do not repel. Just as you were lost and Allah guided you, don't repel those who ask you for guidance and knowledge. As the Prophet said, "Welcome to the seeker of knowledge." When a companion came to learn from him, he would welcome him and mention the virtues of seeking knowledge. This applies to the petitioner for knowledge and also to one asking for material help. Don't repel him, but rather, as Allah enriched you when you were poor, receive the petitioner kindly, give to him, and don't repel him. But as for the favor of your Lord, report it. This is Allah's guidance to His Prophet. Then the chapter concludes with Surah Al-Ma'un. Have you seen the one who denies the religion? What would you expect Allah to say about one who denies religion? When we study theology and learn about the Day of Judgment, the one who denies religion is one who rejects resurrection and doesn't believe in the afterlife. But notice what the Quran says about such a person. For that is the one who drives away the orphan and does not encourage the feeding of the poor. This is the one who denies religion. Someone might verbally affirm the Day of Judgment, but Allah tells us that true belief, beneficial faith, isn't mere words. Real faith manifests in your character. If you truly believe in the afterlife, you will show mercy to orphans and the poor, because you seek Allah's face. See how belief affects behavior. Then notice, so woe to those who pray, but are heedless of their prayer, those who make show of their deeds. Corrupt worship alongside denying religion and corrupt faith. And they refuse small kindnesses. They don't give simple assistance to people, being miserly and withholding. Notice how when belief is sound, it reforms a person's character and worship. Observe how Surah Al-Ma'un combines belief, character, and worship. Someone you see with bad character, even if he appears in the front row maintaining his prayers, has a defect in his prayer. If he were truly sincere to Allah, he wouldn't have bad character or be harsh toward the weak, poor, and orphans.